Hello, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakagadash, the water, Yahawah, the water, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Shalaki, Yahawah, for my sins as I cry. Baba Kashai, Yahawah, for a power all the time. Call Lord Yahawah, Bashim Yahawashi, Water Yahawah, for the akim that you supply. Water Yahawah, for the aqua that comply. Call Lord Yahawah, Vashim Yahawashi, Barakatha Yahawah, for your mercy all the time. Shalom, shalom. It's your brother Obadiah, Canaan, coming to you this evening, of course, with a lesson that the Most High welled up in my spirit to bring forth at this particular time. And it's a headbanger for a lot of people who are in this truth, and for those who can see the truth, but they're not in the truth. They can see it, but they're not in it. So they're kind of, dancing around the situation, basically what the Most High is doing. We're going to talk about today, and the topic is Yahawah. All right, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi implemented spiritual psychosis on, and of course, exclamation point, and double question mark on who all he put it on, which we can clearly see it's permeated upon everything for the most part, as far as all his humanistic creation. And so we're going to get into it. But before we do that, we want to give our utmost respect and admiration to the men of the Lord who got a foundational start. Even though it was a little rocky in the beginning coming out of One West, and those men that are left who are diligently trying to stay the task to the truth, those apostles of Great Millstone, and we don't have to name the names because we know who they are. And then, of course, all of the soldiers and the diligent men who are sticking by the truth and the sacred name, which you can clearly see the difference. Once something is foundational, and of course, that's the platform and the understanding that the Most High has welled up in my spirit to speak about, and he's been pounding me quite spiritually in reference to talking about foundational truth that has to be given the way Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi said he wants his truth given. It's not about doing it the way we want or the way we think we've received it, and then we try to give it back to him, and we need to stop interjecting what we think we want and what we think we're going to get in terms of what he has provided and already predetermined to happen. All this I feel I want is shared in many different ways across many different aspects. But the visitation period now, the days of visitation, and I'm going to give you a little quote from Hosea before we get started in chapter 4, chapter 9 in Hosea in reference to that. But, this back and forth, this flipping and this flopping all over the place by speaking in terms of saying that, we agree that, and we believe and we follow that Yahawah is the anchor. He's the anchor of all existing power and all existence. And then he imparted his power to his son, Yahawashi, and the angels to manage all that he has created and all that he completely controls. Um, the Father has been pushing up in my spirit and dwelling up in my spirit the continuation of pounding this in me to continue to say it. We have a very bad psychosis going on throughout the entire process that the Father has put on all of his humanistic creation, as I said in the beginning. And I'm gonna read my definitions that I brought out and wrote down from psychosis, because we need to understand what we're talking about. And sometimes men are quite knowledgeable about things, and we're not going to be too deep on anything. We're just going to be, one deep or a little less, because this is very simplistic. Because the simplicity of the Hamashiach creates a stumbling block for just about everybody that thinks they know who he is and know who the Father is. But clearly they must be getting the signals mixed up. And the Father clearly gives us an opportunity to understand, like I did the last lesson, to the elect, understand my left hand, the left hand of the Father, because he controls everything all the time. We have to get away from some of this language when we talk about the Most High God allowed something to go down. No, he orchestrated it purposely. Our Father is intentional. He's not a schizophrenic, which is could be a symptom of psychosis, and our Father doesn't have that. He puts that on people, and we're going to break down some scriptures to speak about that, because a lot of us in this truth, as they call themselves in this truth, they got some real bad spiritual psychosis going on. Okay, and we're going to break down some of this in terms of explaining the nuances of that. But first, let me give you Hosea chapter 9, and I'm going to start at 7. So feel me. It says, the days of visitation are come, the days of recompense are come, Israel shall know it. The prophet is a fool, the spiritual man is mad, for the multitude of thine iniquity and the great hatred. And we're going to break down what this great hatred is and who's mad and who's a fool. Now, everyone that's called to be a prophet is not a fool, but there are specific ones that are clearly dialed up and predetermined for that process. I was looking and listening to my brothers as they break down some of the fools they come across, because the Most High made these fools. No one is a fool unless the Most High made him a fool. All right. Nobody's got a choice to be a fool. Everything's being controlled by the Most High. If you can't get this part of the foundational operation of the Most High's method of operation, then you need to find out what it is that you're not picking up on, the clues to give you this level of understanding. Because the scriptures tell you that the Father's given all of those that he chose who are under his law a measure of faith. And in that faith, you're supposed to pray, praise, worship, and pray for understanding to increase your faith, which will give you the ability to start to unravel the clues to get you closer to what the Father needs you to do to fulfill your mission, and we can get through and around all of the tribulation processes that he's bringing forth at this end time. But if you're going to continue to be in a position where you're not picking up these clues, he, for whatever his reason is, doesn't want you to get it or not get it yet. Now, these lessons are important because we're supposed to be watchmen and giving the information that could allow someone to pick up on these clues a lot easier. You don't have any choices here. You're not choosing anything. And I know it sounds weird, but it's not. He already, he did predetermine everything that's happening. That's why he said he determined the end from the beginning and the beginning from the end. He didn't leave anything out, and that includes you and whatever your mindset is. It was not left out. So you got to start praise, worshiping, and praying so you can pick up the keys, which will give you the opportunity to get that unction that he built in us to pick up the clues necessary to get through and around all of what he's doing in tribulation to get us out of here. And if you have some contention or some confusion, or you can't comprehend that all of this is already orchestrated by the Father and written, and it always has a conclusion that's been given and delivered. Why else do you have Revelation? You have the book of Revelation, which tells you what happens at the end. So therefore, why can't you understand he already did it? So what are you stumbling through this for? He's given individuals that are explaining to you that everything has already been determined. Stop saying he allowed. No, he's controlling. When you say someone allowed, when the Father allowed it, it gives a nuance that he cut it, he allowed it, he cut it loose, and let it go all over the place and willy-nilly out of control. No, he's in control of everything that he set forth. So when you say allow, you need to present the degree of understanding that he still controls everything that he set forth. All things, all agendas, all people, all processes, everything is controlled by the anchor who is the Father, and he manages it through Yahawashi. This is what your apostles have taught you from the beginning. Stop going off and doing other things like saying, oh man, Jake is all freaking bugged out and he's doing, yeah, because the Most High bugged him out. Just like he bugs out those that's in the truth. He could bug anybody out because that's what everything belongs to him. He created everything for his pleasure. And if he doesn't have any pleasure in you at the time that he's dealing with you, he's going to do what he does with you. But it's going to be under his control. Let's not get that confused. You need to start speaking from a foundational, stable platform, not unstable. Don't we always say that wisdom and knowledge is the stability of this time? Well, how the hell are you stable when you flip-flop back and forth talking about one time Esau got this, Esau gonna do this, they gonna do this, Jake gonna do that? No, the Father's doing all of it. Get it? Come, praise, worship, and praise so you can come out of your spiritual psychosis. What is psychosis? Let's explain. I've got a definition. Psychosis, a mental disorder characterized by a disconnection from reality. A spiritual mental. Anytime they say mental, they're still talking spiritual. Just like they say, oh, this person is mentally disturbed. No, they're spiritually disturbed. They got demons in them. They got wicked demons the Most High put in them to do exactly what they are doing. That's what he's doing. Again, continue. Psychosis may occur as a result of a psychiatric illness like schizophrenia. Don't try to say our Father is schizo. You're schizo because we put you that way. In other instances, it may be caused by a health condition, true, because a lot of people have been abused by other people. Men have been abused by women. Women have been abused by men because they got spiritual mental illness, right? Medication and drugs. Most High is still controlling all these things. I'm breaking down. All right, let's talk about some of the stages of spiritual psychosis, okay? Psychosis is a process of being out of reality, but you think you're not out of reality, right? Where the thoughts and the perceptions of a person become disrupted. These changes happen gradually, typically in 3 phases. 1, the first phase is an early phase, okay? The second phase is an acute phase. And the third phase is supposed to be a recovery phase. This is the definition that Esau's breaking down from his carnality-based mental perspective, from his pseudoscience, as well as him being a physician of no value. He's getting all his knowledge because all knowledge comes from the Most High. He's just allowed. Now, when I say allowed, I'm saying he is controlled by the Most High with a measure of performing this process in and around the definition of psychosis. That's the allowable process. See, when you want to say allow, you need to explain the level of allowing that the Father's giving. Don't just blanket, oh, he allowed wicked to be. No, he's controlling the wickedness. You got to use words in context that support the truth, not babble and not confusion. Okay? Warning signs of psychosis. Things around them seem changed in some way. 2, rapid speech that is difficult to interpret, like that motorboat babbling crap, and also people who keep talking too fast and you can't understand shit they saying. Shalaki. Okay? Number 3, irrational statements. All right? Number 4, extreme preoccupation with false belief systems or with an occult. Usually, this is a new change in that person. Okay? 5, peculiar use of words or odd language structures. Get a lot of people who do that. They come up and they make stuff up when they read supposedly the truth, and then they interject what they think they're going to acquire. Okay? That's a whole lot of peculiar crap they got going on. And that's delusional, which means they're suffering from some similitude of spiritual psychosis that the Most High put on them. He put it on them because he controls all things. I was looking and listening. Elder Manak Zakba was doing a lesson on the this dude. I don't know where he come from. Agent, whatever. He ain't provocateur. He's just well, anyway, some KD pork belly babbler in his pork belly army, talking some crap about he's whatever King David. I mean, just see that's you can see he is pure spiritual psychosis, and he's a demon on top of being spiritually psychotic. Okay, so he got hardcore spiritual psychosis on him, and him being a KD big pork belly babbler and all his pork belly army, they all got the psychosis on them. It's just like a disease on them. But the Most High did it, and it's okay, and it's all right to cite it, but you don't have to harp on it. You don't have to get all over it because the Father did it. He does it all. He's covering all this stuff. So if he's doing psychosis on people, then what are you going to do about it? What are you going to say? You got a problem with the way he's doing what he's doing? Okay? You try to get in his way, and you can't, but try to and see what happens. See how fast he tightens up those who gets in his way or don't pick up his clues. You get abused, and if you really stop picking up his clues, you will lose. That's what the Father is saying, not me. Okay, so don't get it twisted. All right, so we're going to break down a couple more scriptures, but we're going to bring some evidence forward about how the Most High put psychosis on people. As I said, Hosea chapter 9, verse 7, the days of visitation are come, and the days of recompense are come. Israel shall know it. Did it say the rest of the world? No, it said Israel will know it. Okay, the prophet is a fool. We saw the KD pork belly babbler. We see how he's a fool. Okay, the spiritual man is mad. You see a lot of guys who go around and all they do is they know the sacred name that is Yahawah and Yahawashi, but they still say JC and they say Christ and they come up with all these other spiritually psychosis type names like Yahshua and Yahweh and Ahayas and all this other crap because Father put psychosis on them. Okay, all right. For the multitude of thine iniquity and the great hatred, the watchman of Ephraim was with my power, Yahawah, but the prophet is a snare of a fowler in all his ways and hatred in the house of Yahawah. They have deeply corrupted themselves. Now, when he says they deeply corrupted themselves, I'm not going to walk past that because when you hear that, sometimes you say, oh, they did it on themselves. No, How they deeply corrupted themselves is they're not picking up the understanding from the unction that's within them, which the spirit that has been put in them by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is supposed to marry up with the spirit that is of the Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And then through your praise, worship, and prayer, you get a chance to do what? You get a chance to ask the Father through your praise, worship, and prayer, but of course it's wrapped in repentance, that can he relieve your mindset so that you can pick up these clues a little more effectively and be in the spirit more consistently, his spirit, and then in turn, you won't be corrupting yourselves and you'll be moving forward in the truth, okay? So they have deeply not understood how to solve the clues through the unction of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi's Holy Spirit that goes to you, okay? Just giving you definitely clearing it up themselves as in the days of Gilgath. Therefore, he will remember their iniquity and he shall visit their sins, right? So we have to understand that there's nothing that happens that the Father does not have complete control of. If we're going to continue to teach and preach, foundationally we need to come off of the platform that Yahawah is in control of everything he created. Once you come off that level, in that platform level, everything you say will tie in and become completely stable in your conversations and in your teaching and in your preaching, because it becomes stable once you anchor to the foundation of all control that is held and utilized by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. That's what you need to come through. You gotta foundationally bring that to light, and you gotta bring it back and reinforce that language as you go through your lessons and you teach. You gotta say the Father's in control of all this. He's moving Esau to do this. He's moving Jake to do this. He's moving Jacob to do that, or Eve to do this, or whoever, Hamite, this guy, or whatever ite. He's moving all of them to do all this because he's in complete total control of everything. That's foundational truth that you have to anchor everything off of when you're going to be bringing forth this level of knowledge to people. You have to know that if he's going to put psychosis on someone, you can't stop it. Why would you want to? This is how we get out of here. You know it has to go so bad, as he had me say over and over again. It's going to get so bad that the demons don't even want to be here. Now, how bad is that going to be? So are you bucking up against that coming? You always say, and I hear a lot of people say, oh, we can't wait for the Lord's day. We can't wait till Jacob's trouble finally kicks in and is over with. We don't know how long the Lord's day going to be. Remember, a day with the Lord is as 1,000 years. Okay? Jacob's trouble, we don't know how long that's going to be. We know it's going to be worse than anything that's ever hit creation. Father told you that. But and you can go to to Jeremiah 30 and read it for yourself. But I'm saying to you, you asking for something that none of us are prepared for. We are really not prepared for it. I went into before about isolation, tribulation. When he abruptly cuts everything off wherever you are, even if you among, even if you a big KD pork belly babbler and among all the rest of your pork belly soldiers or whatever, if you there with all of them, it don't mean a damn thing, because once he cuts everything off in the dark, you in the dark. All right, so you have to eat your pork in the dark. All right, so whatever the situation is, bottom line is going to be real simple. Once he cuts everything off, you're going to be isolated. You're going to be isolated from who you think you need to contact, who you think needs to contact you, where you think you need to be or go or not. You're going to be where you are, and you're going to be in the dark, even if it's in the daytime. Tell me you're ready for that. No, you're not. And if you say you are, you a damn liar, because you know you ain't ready. I know I'm not. No one else is ready. We're trying to get ready for it. That's what we're doing. But one of the foundational ways to get ready is to understand that Yahawah, the Father, controls absolutely everything, including Yahawashi, the angels, and them all. They all have to get the source of power from Yahawah. When you gonna confess that? Where's the testimonies for that situation? You're gonna need it. Okay, let's go into the scriptures more deeply and let's talk about some of the spiritual psychosis that was implemented on creation, men in particular, and others by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay, let's get to that. All right. First place we gonna go is a good place. Let's go to Daniel. We're gonna go to the book of Daniel because that's a good place to start. You can see how far individuals and how smart individuals are in reference to this, and then we got another place to go after that. We're going to Daniel chapter 4. Y'all probably know where I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about Nebuchadnezzar. That's right, the same demon that people don't understand when they call someone by the name of Lucifer. It's not the spiritual demon Satan. It's this dude right here, okay? So let's not get it twisted. So let's get into that, all right? First, the King Nebuchadnezzar's, and this is about his power, his God, our Father Yahawah, okay? Nebuchadnezzar the king, unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. So it's a salutation given to Nebuchadnezzar explaining what the Most High is getting ready to do to his ass and all the people who seem to want to worship him. All right. I thought it good to show the signs and wonders that the high God hath wrought toward me. See, this is Nebuchadnezzar trying to explain that he understands the Father put spiritual psychosis on his ass and drove him mad. We're going to get into it, right? How great are his signs and how mighty are his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation. You know it's talking about the Most High Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Right now, we're going to talk about the vision of the great tree, because this is what's important in reference to how the Most High speaks through his process that he goes through, right? Nebuchadnezzar was at rest in mine house. This is like the third-party narration, Father, right? Speaking through Yahawashi and flourishing in my palace. Everything belongs to the Most High. So clearly you understand this, right? All right? As I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts upon my bed, and the visions of my head troubled me. 6, therefore made I a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon before me, that they might make known unto me the interpretation of the dream. Then came in the magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers, and I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation thereof. Okay, why? Now you notice he brought in all the mess, all of what he created, all the ones he bugged out. Now take this into consideration. The Most High brought in them all. The magicians, he bugged them the hell out, right? And you see that in the world. Astrologers, they're bugged out now. The astrology that we had is not the same thing you have now. They're bugged the hell out. The Chaldeans, well, we know they've been bugged out from the beginning of the world, which most of them are. And the soothsayers, the false prophets, and the people who think that they got the word and they think they got it right. And he bugged them all out. Now, what are they going to try to do? Explain the Most High. Just like we got right now. We got a lot of people, right, that they learn the truth, supposedly, from the men who were set up to distribute the truth, from diligently obeying the sacred name and obeying the sacred word and obeying the way it's supposed to be done. Now, even amongst us and those who strive to be as accurate as we can, the Most High still got some things that are spiritually blocked on a lot of us, because no one has all the truth in terms of what is going to happen once we get completely into the kingdom. Nobody has that. We've heard them say before, what are we going to look like and be exactly like, and what would the bodies exactly be made like when we get to the new kingdom? What substance will they be made of? We don't know that. Okay? There's other nuances. What will we all have chariots? Will we have will I have a whole 5 or 6 chariots I could roll with, and will my family and my kids and everyone have their own chariot to ride in? We don't know that. You know, how often will we have to do specific certain things directly for the Father, as well as certain things specifically and directly for Yahawashi? We don't know that. See, these things we don't know. So we can only speak on what's given to us in a measure of time that allows us to work through the prophecies that the Father has presented to us. That's all we got. That's all we have. And even that is sparse. Just like he said, the elect will scarcely make it. So what does that say for any and everybody else? What does it say? We have no idea. Okay, so let's finish. Okay, so anyway, but this is verse 8. But at the last, Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belteshazzar, which was changed to Belteshazzar, of course, to be Babylonian, according to the name of Nebuchadnezzar's God. He said, my God, in whom is the spirit of the holy gods. And before him I told the dream, saying, O Belteshazzar, master of the magicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy gods, see, he's naming holy gods, is in thee, and no secret troubleth thee. Tell me the vision of my dream, that I may see, that I have seen, and the interpretation thereof. Verse 10, thus were the visions of mine head in my bed. I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. Okay, so clearly we know he's going to explain this. I don't have to explain it. I've read it, but it's not my job when the Bible explains itself. So let's continue to read. 12. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadow under it, and the fowls of heaven dwelt in burrows thereof, and all flesh was fed of it. Now, interesting. Isn't that very interesting? Okay. I saw in the vision of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and a holy one came down from heaven. He cried aloud and said, thus, hew down the tree and cut off the branches, shake off the leaves and scatter his fruit. Let the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from the branches. Nevertheless, leave the stump of his root in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beast in the grass of the earth. Okay, 16. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. Okay, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, which were the angels, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomever he will, and sitteth upon over it the beast of men, the basest of men, Shalaki. Okay? So, we always read that scripture, but do we really understand what that means? He's telling you that he controls everybody, the wicked as the righteous, for whatever measure it is here, because no one at this fallen state here during this time period is righteous. We all are practicing to be there, but we're not there, okay? So don't get that twisted. So, and the Father's telling you, hey, I'll give it to who I wish to give it to, and I'm still in control of everything I give. And then he says, this dream I, King Nebuchadnezzar, have seen. Now thou, O Belteshazzar, declare the interpretation thereof, for as much as all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known unto me the interpretation. But thou art able, for the spirit of the holy gods is in thee. Okay, now, just a second here. This pagan king who's interpreting Shlaki, trying to interpret his own dream, which he can't, okay? to me shows a big similitude of what we see now in reference to the way people operate and what they call their understanding of the truth right now. The Father said to us that we're supposed to distribute the truth, and we're supposed to go out and teach it and bring it out, and cry loud, spare not, Isaiah 48. But at the same time, you understand and you can see that the situation is such that people have their own understanding of what they consider to be the truth. Okay, they come around it. They seem to see it, as I said before. They see it, but they're not in it. They see it because when you ask them a question, they say, "I can see that. I can see that." And when you're out teaching highway, byway, or online, and you're getting comments, comment board, or whatever, sometimes a lot of them say, "Yeah, I can see that," or they come in agreement in terms of responding to what you're saying. But when do they ever say that they're actually in it? See, where is that language? When someone says they're into you, or they're all in, or they're into the truth, they say they're in. When a person just says, "I see it," that doesn't mean they're in it. You understand what I'm talking about? See, all these magicians and soothsayers and astrologers, they see things, right? They see it. That's why Yahawashi even said, they see with their eyes, but they can't see. They hear with their ears, but they can't hear. What he's telling you is they're not in the truth. So you look at some of the derivatives, the offshoots of the originals that were given the truth, that were not just seeing the truth, they were in the truth. They were foundational. They were given the truth, and they embraced it to the degree that they became in the truth, not just seeing it. The ones who see it, they incorporate other language, and they don't discern or they don't disclaim what truth they're supposed to be in, if you can understand what I'm saying. In other words, when they get out there and they're teaching on the highways and byways, they interject saying Jesus Christ, or they say Christ, or they say whatever, Most High Christ blessed, or whatever. See, that's seeing the truth. You were in it. The Father, at some point, because you were predetermined to come out of it, he pulled you out or threw you out of it, and now you can see it, so you can act like you're teaching it, but you just see it, but you're not in it. I mean, I don't know if that confuses you, but it shouldn't, because you can clearly see those who can stick to and have been given the understanding of the sacred language, right? The Lashawan Kodash, and understanding the Paleo Hebrew, and bringing forth that language, and when you teach and when you preach and stick to it and don't deviate from it, they show more symptoms and signs of being in the truth, not just seeing the truth. And this is what Daniel's getting ready to break down for this king Nebuchadnezzar, because he could see it, but he wasn't in it, but his ass was about to catch it. Here we go. 19. Then Daniel, whose name was Balthazar, was astonished for 1 hour. Shlaki, who was astonished for 1 hour, and his thoughts troubled him. The king spake and said, Belteshazzar, let not the dream or the interpretation thereof trouble thee. Belteshazzar answered and said, My lord, the dream be to them that hate thee, and the interpretation thereof to thine enemies. See? I'm not going to mess with you. I'm going to keep going. The tree that thou sawest, which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to all the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwelt, and upon whose branches the fowls of the heaven had their habitation. It is thou, O king, that art grown and become strong, for thy greatness is grown and reacheth unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth. See, Most High talks about how this is the trunk of the body, the arms are the limbs, right? The legs and everything, the extremities. So it's not uncommon that he used these metaphors. Okay? All right, 23. And whereas the king saw a watcher and a holy one coming down from heaven and saying, hew the tree down and destroy it, yet leave the stump of the roots thereof in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beast of the field, till 7 times pass over him. This is the interpretation, O king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which is Yahawah, which is come upon my Lord the king, that they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beast of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over thee, till thou that the Most High ruleth, Shalaki, pass over thee, till thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it unto whomsoever he will. 26. And whereas they commanded to leave the stump of the roots of the tree roots, thy kingdom shall be sure unto thee. After that thou shalt have known that the heavens do rule. That's what the Father's telling you. Wherefore, O king, let my counsel be acceptable unto thee, and break off thy sins by righteousness, and thine iniquities by showing mercy to the poor, if it may be a lengthening of thy tranquility. So he's saying you might get some grace, and the Father might just let up off of you and might not let you stay so psychotically bugged out, or he may. We don't know. He's not speaking on behalf of what the Father will actually do, because Daniel only can interpret what was presented. Okay? Now the vision fulfilled. That's what's important, because now we're going to see where the Most High actually implemented spiritual psychosis on Nebuchadnezzar, okay, who was ruling the known earth at that particular time. And if he'll do that to him, what you think he's doing to a multitude of other creations that are in a humanistic format at this time? That includes me and anybody else. Ain't nobody excused from this. Okay? All right, here we go. 28. All this came upon the king Nebuchadnezzar. At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon, and the king spake and said, It is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power. Mm-hmm. See what we talking about here, pork belly? Okay, all right. And for the honor of my majesty. See? While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. The same hour was a thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men, and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like birds' claws. Okay? And at the end of the days, Nebuchadnezzar lifted up mine eyes unto heaven, and my understanding returned unto me. All right, let me stop there for a second. You lift up your eyes to heaven, and your understanding return unto me. This is an actual interpretation of the case where this pagan king was able to pick up the clues because his understanding was returned to him. He didn't have the ability to stop any of this. Just like we don't have the ability to stop anything that's happening. We don't have any power like that. Have no power like anything. We can't even stop involuntary actions in the body that the Most High created for us, for our soul and spirit to dwell in. You can't stop yourself. Okay, stop yourself from blinking. Make your mind say, I'm not going to blink, and then don't do it. Stop yourself from seeing. Even when you close your eyes, your eyelids can see, your eyes can see the inside of your eyelids. You can't stop anything. And what the hell are you complaining about what the Most High is doing? He's bugging out who he wants to bug out. If you can't figure out how to teach around and through what he's doing in tribulation to the degree where you have something to say, then shut up and don't say nothing. And wait until he gives you a real lesson about something that is pertinent to what his control is about. That's what you should be doing. Teach what his control is totally about all the time. There's a myriad of lessons to do on that. Because if you teach against him bugging out the bug outs and him doing the stuff to Pork Belly, KD, and anybody else, that's fine. But you got to teach what's going to help the Father in the way that he needs you to assist in the transitional process of prophecy as it's moving forward that will give directives to the sheep. Because talking about what Esau going to do to people and not saying that the Father's doing it, you confuse the hell out of the sheep. That's what you do. Even those that are coming into the understanding of being the elect, if you keep saying that the Most High is allowing something and then he cut it loose and it's just doing what it do, that doesn't work, because he's always in control of everything he does. Everything he created, he's in complete control of. There's nobody can dispute to say that that's not the case. And if you are saying that he's not in control of absolutely every inkling of everything that's going on, then you are seeing the truth, but you're not in it. This is what he's telling you. Look at what he did to Nebuchadnezzar. He was the king of the earth, had everything going on. No, he had all this power. And he was told in advance that I'm going to drive you freaking crazy. Could he stop it? No. Could anybody stop it? No. Could Daniel stop it? Even though he spoke it and he prophesied about it, he couldn't stop it. He knew that he wasn't supposed to. Let's finish. Okay. 33. The same hour was fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men, and he did eat grass and oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like birds' claws. And at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up my eyes unto heaven, and my understanding returned unto me, and I blessed the Most High, and I praised and honored him that liveth forever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation. Go back and where it says, and I blessed the Most High, right? And I praised and honored him. Praise and worship. I keep telling you people, this is what he's asking for. And what do? Well, we're going to do what we were told and taught. Okay, fine. So then just get your asses kicked because you don't want to listen. That's all to it. 35. And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing. Who? All the inhabitants of the earth. Everybody that's on the earth. If your ass is on this earth, you can be reputed as nothing because you don't have no righteousness. I don't have no righteousness. We're practicing what we can, and that's still all controlled by the Most High. And he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth, and none can stay his hand or say unto him, what doest thou? I'm going to read that one again. For the spiritually psychosis, slow belly, whatever you want to call, whoever you want to be, you need to hear that one again. Okay? Because they don't understand. 34. And at the end of days, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up my eyes unto heaven, and my understanding returned unto me. And I blessed, this pagan blessed the Most High, which means he disclaimed who is controlling everything. The Most High. And I praised and honored him that liveth forever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation. And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth, and none can stay his hand or say unto him, what doest thou? 36. At the same time my reason returned unto me, and for the glory of my kingdom, mine honor and brightness returned unto me, and my counselors and my lords sought unto me, and I was established in my kingdom, and excellent majesty was added unto me. See what I mean? If you praise, worship, and pray to the Most High the way he said do it, give it to him the way he said he wanted. Not your organization, not your best friend, not your wife, not your kids, not your grandmother, your grandfather, not some big fat pork belly dude, the way the Most High said it. Give it back to him the way he said. 37. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and exalt and honor the King of heaven, all whose works are truth, and his ways judgment, and those that walk in pride he is able to abase. Really, I could just stop right there and just let you just simmer in whatever the hell you dealing with and doing. That I could do right there. Because you have a really bad habit of not disclaiming that the Father is in absolute control of everything that's going on at all times. You keep saying weird, stupid stuff like he's allowing that. No, it's not allowing, he authorized it and he's controlling it. Now, we're going to go to 1 Kings chapter 18. Because we got some more ass roasting of people to go in to get to, because people for some reason like to flip flop. So maybe you should burn on one side and then they flip you over and burn on the other side. Now, of course, we're gonna preface this. Obadiah is going to meet Elijah, all right? Because Nebuchadnezzar is under a high level of spiritual psychosis, okay? And the level of spiritual psychosis that Ahab is under, okay? Like Nebuchadnezzar, we're going to read about how the Most High bugged him out and then used his prophet Elijah to finish the job until he got a little slight taste of psychosis, a little slight taste of psychosis too. Okay, we'll get into that. Just bear with me. Okay. All right. 1 Kings chapter 18, starting at the top. And it came to pass after many days that the word of YAHAWAH, the Lord, came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, go show thyself unto Ahab. Okay. You know who he was, king of Israel at the time. And I will send rain upon the earth. And Elijah went to show himself to Ahab, and there was a sore famine in Samaria. See, Most High will bring some famine on your ass. He ain't playing. All right. 3. And Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house. Now Obadiah feared Yahweh greatly. Father, oh Lord, Yahweh. That's why I will do and say whatever you want me to say, and I don't give a flying you know what if anybody don't like it. I don't care what the you say. I'm gonna say what the Most High want me to say because He wells that up in my spirit, and no spirit don't jump on me. I don't want shit jumping on me because I will fight something that jumps on me. Most High give me the strength and the power to do so. Back. All right. He was a governor. 4. For it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of Yahweh the Lord, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave and fed them with bread and water. I would do it in a heartbeat if the Father send me to do that. I will hide you. I will protect you if the Father gives me the word and the ability to do so. Hey, I'll do it. Father knows I'll do it. All right? Because I'm just a servant. I don't claim to be nothing else. So don't be trying to give me no label and don't be coming at me with no nonsense. I guess the Father was like, yo, what you doing? Call hello, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So anyway, we're going to be right with you in a second. Had a little technical difficulty there, and we're going to have it fixed for you in a moment. Just bear with me, okay? Bear with me. My camera got a little bit, a little distracted there. You know how it goes sometimes when you're trying to get a lesson done and your camera jump off the pedestal there or whatever, you know. And just a little technical difficulty, but we're gonna be back here in a second. I think we got it. There we go. Shlaki. All right. Happens to the best of us. Okay. You see that? That was just a little mishap, but we got it. We got the camera back. Okay. Where was I? Yep. 1 Kings. When we were talking about what Obadiah was doing for Yahweh, waiting for Elijah, right? Okay. Here we go. All right. I think we're all back. Yep. Whew. And it came to pass, okay, we got that part. Elijah went and showed himself to Ahab, and there was a sore famine in Samaria. Okay? And Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house. Now Obadiah feared the Lord greatly, for it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave and fed them with bread and water. And Ahab said unto Obadiah, go into the land unto all fountains of water and unto all brooks, peradventure we may find grass to save the horses and mules alive that were loose, not all the beasts. 6. So they divided the land between them as to pass throughout it, and Ahab went one way by himself, and Obadiah went another way by himself. Okay? And as Obadiah was in the way, behold, Elijah met him, and he knew him. And he fell on his face and said, art thou my Lord Elijah? Now, of course, you know Elijah coming in the spirit of Yahawashi, which is awesome in terms of the way that go, right? And he said, what have I, Shalaki? And he answered him, I am Shalaki. Yeah. All right, right, okay. And he answered him, I am. Go tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And he said, what have I sinned that thou wouldest deliver thy servant into the hand of Ahab to slay me? Okay, so he was showing a little bit of doubt here, which he shouldn't have been doing, but the Lord's controlling all things. As the Lord Yahweh thy power liveth, there is no nation or kingdom whether my Lord hath not sent to seek thee. And when they said he is not there, he took an oath of the kingdom and the nation that they found thee not. Now, of course, Most High was holding on to Elijah until he had to deliver him where he needed him. 11. And now thou sayest, go tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And it shall come to pass as soon as I am gone from thee, that the spirit of Yahweh shall carry thee whither I know not. And see that? The Most High is controlling it. And I know whether I know not. And so when I come and tell Ahab, and he cannot find thee, he shall slay me. But I, thy servant, fear Yahweh from my youth. So he's going to go do it because he fears that if he don't do it, the Most High will make him do it. Okay? All right, 13. Was it not told, my Lord, what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of Yahweh? How I hid 100 men of the lords of Yahweh's prophets by 50 in cave and fed them with bread and water? Question. And now thou sayest, go tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here, and he shall slay me. And Elijah said, as Yahweh of hosts liveth, before whom I stand, I will surely show myself unto him today. So Obadiah went to meet Ahab and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. And it came to pass when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, art thou he that troubleth Israel? Now let's talk about that for a second. See, this is what you see a lot of times when a lot of these people, they get the truth said to them, and they say they see it, but they're not in it. And so because they just see it, but they're not in it, it troubles them. They got a problem with this. So they have to come and get to a point where the clues and the understanding is what they should be asking of the prophets and of the teachers and of those that are bringing the truth to them. Because if you're not asking how you can be in the truth and just telling them that you see what they're saying, this is why you're troubled. You will be troubled at this particular time in which he was, okay? 18, and he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house, in that ye have forsaken the commandments of Yahweh, and thou hast followed Balaam. Okay. So what is Balaam? What is it, right? We're talking about blasphemy attributed to an outlying lamentation that Israel is mad. Spelling Balaam. Okay? That's what it is. Now, therefore, send and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal, 450, and the prophets of the groves, 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. 850 people under psychosis, spiritual psychosis, including, and not to mention, especially Ahab. Okay? All right? That's why he said, bring them all. All right, so now, the Most High, or Baal, on Mount Carmel. This is when we're going to get to that point. Because now, I'm going to say something, but when I say it, it's not me saying it, it's the spirit of Bahasham, Yahawashi saying it through me to everyone. Everyone. That includes those that claim to be prophets, those that claim to be teachers, those that claim to be whoever and whatever you think you are, or whatever you think the Most High made you. This is what he's saying to you. Make sure you pay close attention, because I'm not saying it to you. I'm just distributing the information as a servant. So just pay close attention. So Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? Now, if the Lord Yahawah be power or God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Now let's deal with that for a minute. How long halt ye between two opinions? What are the two opinions? Do you have the sacred name? Do you understand the Lashawan Kodash? Do you respect and not blaspheme the Father and his sacred name, and the Son and his sacred name, because he comes in the name of his Father? Are you blaspheming the Holy Spirit by not contributing the accuracy of the truth and being in it? This is one opinion that you're supposed to be part of. You're supposed to be halted in that opinion. If you're halted in doing anything else other than following that, if you're halted in following an organization, a camp, a church, or whatever, and it's not giving the total accurate truth of what the Father wants from his creation, not what your organization wants, you're between two opinions, which means you're not in the truth. Because if you're between two opinions, you're a double-minded man or a double-minded person or a double-minded woman or whatever. How long halt ye between two opinions? We got a lot of people who, if you're teaching anything else but the accuracy of the sacred name, the sacred language, and the sacred scriptures, and if you're adding what you want in the scriptures, if you're taking away from the scriptures, if you're claiming that all knowledge of the scriptures that the Father brought out with whatever person, Paul, Peter, Barnabas, James, whatever, if you're claiming that there are some inconsistencies that you keep and you fall away from, then you're a halt between a different opinion, which means you're not in the truth. Because all knowledge, everything is controlled by the Most High. If you agree with that, how can you even say anything against what is going on right now? I said it in the lesson before, and I'll say it again. You can't debate what you did not create. We didn't create anything, so why are we debating it? You can't debate the Most High's truth, his word. You didn't create the word. You didn't create any damn thing. You're a creation. So what are you debating? You are halt between two opinions, and you're on the wrong side of the opinion. You're on the wrong side because you're seeing the truth, maybe, but you're not in the truth. Okay, let's finish reading. Okay. 22. Then said Elijah unto the people, even I only remain a prophet of Yahawah, of the Lord. But Baal's prophets are 450 men. Now at the time, right, Elijah was feeling as though he was by himself. He wasn't in a camp. Will he be in a camp? Well, Elisha's coming. He was rolling with him. There's two of them. But at the same time, the Father was dealing with him. Father was dealing with Obadiah too. right? He was working as a governor for Ahab, the northern kingdom king, and he was given a mission. Elisha was given a mission, and they were fulfilling that mission with the full power that Yahweh would put behind him, being managed through Yahawashi and the angels, clearly. Okay? So, okay. Now, was he halt between two opinions? He was on the right side of the right opinion because he was calling them out. But he was calling them out the way the Father had instructed him to call them out. He didn't call them out from what some pork belly false prophet is saying to do. He was calling them out directly from what the Most High told him to call out and how to call out. "22 Then said Elijah unto the people, I only remain as a prophet of Yahweh, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it upon wood, and put it on the fire under, and I will dress the other bullock and lay it on the wood, and put no fire under." Okay? 24. "And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of Yahweh, and the power that answereth by fire, let him be power, let him be God. And all the people answered and said, It is well spoken. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, Choose you 1 bullock for yourselves, and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under it. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any answer, and they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elisha mocked them and said, Cry aloud, for he is a god. Either he is talking, or he is pursing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth and must be awakened. Maybe he was on the toilet. Who knows? Their God was not a God. All right, 28. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lances, till the blood gushed out upon them. And it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice nor any answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, Come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of Yahweh and that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of Yahweh came, see, only to us, and saying, Israel shall be thy name. Lashawan Quadash, Yasharallah. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahweh, and he made a trench about the altar as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. This was a deep trench, okay? All right? And he put the wood in order and cut the bullock in pieces and laid him on the wood and said, Fill 4 barrels with water and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. And he said, Do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, Do it the third time. Praise, worship, and prayer 3 times, people. And they did it the third time. And the water ran about the altar. And he filled the trench also with water. The water is the washing of the water. Remember? The washing of the word with the water of truth. That's spiritual. Okay? And 35, and the water ran about the altar and filled the trench with water. And Elijah's prayer, right? And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahawah, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, and which was Jacob, of course, let it be known that this day thou art Yahawah, thou art God in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. What the Most High said do. Not man, not your organization, not what they tell you how to set up the altar, but the way the Most High said do it. That was the prayer. Who is your prayer to? Do you pray to KD, Big Pork Belly Man? Do you pray to IUIC, and Nate and all his men? Do you pray to King Nate? Who do you pray to? 37. Hear me, O Yahweh, hear me, that this people may know that thou art Yahweh, power, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then the fire of Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. That's so very symbolic of how salvation will be delivered by Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Father is going to drop the fire, and the fire is going to consume all sacrifices, my sacrifice, your sacrifice, all the sacrifices of the elect, the 144,000. Listen, you have to chuck this flesh to get on a chariot. You ain't getting on a chariot until this thing is changed. You ain't going to be looking down on the earth. You ain't going to be looking down at the destruction in this type of body right here. It's got to be changed. So that sacrifice is going to be consumed by the Ruach HaKodesh, the Shekinah glory of the Father, which is a consuming fire in the way that it will be gracious and it will be awesome. It ain't about being hurt. It's about being alert. Okay? And he said, and he said what? The burnt, it fell, consumed the burnt sacrifice, the wood. All right? It also took care of the stones, the 12. Okay? And it also licked up the dust, the 1/3, easily. Okay? And it licked up the water that was in the trench. The water is always usually symbolic of the people, the large multitude of the people. The Father's going to deliver, okay? Just like he always promised, and he will. But you got to know he's the only one that's going to do it. He's controlling this through his son. He's the only one that's going to do this through Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay? And when the people saw it, they fell on their faces and they said, the Lord Yahweh, he is the power. He is God. The Lord, he is the God, Yahweh. That's what they said. Meaning he's in total control. Okay? And Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook of Kishon and slew them there. Listening to the Father. And Elijah said unto Ahab, get thee up, eat and drink, for there is a sound of abundance of rain. The rain and the latter rain that is coming. So Ahab went up to eat and to drink, and Elisha went up to the top of Carmel, and he cast himself down upon the earth and put his face between his knees, and he said to his servant, go up now, look toward the sea. And he went up and looked and said, there is nothing. And he said, go again 7 times. And it came to pass at the 7th time that he said, behold, there ariseth a little cloud out of the sea like a man's hand. And he said, go up and say unto Ahab, prepare thy chariot and get thee down, that the rain stop thee not. And it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heaven was black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain. And Ahab rode and went to Jezreel, and he and the hand of the Lord was upon Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel. Now we can continue to go through this book, but I just wanted you to make sure you understand that the Most High, he put the spiritual psychosis on these Baal prophets and on Ahab. Okay? And he touched Elisha a little bit in the process, right? Because as we understand, it says here, and Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done. This is 19. This go over to 19. We've just done 1 Kings 18. Okay? And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, so let the gods do me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them tomorrow about this time. In other words, now she's threatening, this witch is threatening Elijah, and he shouldn't be scared, but hey, we have bouts and moments that the Most High takes us through to bring us to an understanding that he's in total power and total control, which it will spin around and show you that, which we will see, okay? And when he saw that, he arose and went for his life and came to Beersheba, which belongeth to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a juniper tree, and he requested for himself that he might die, and said, it is enough. Now, O Yahweh, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers. As much as Elisha was doing, he still wasn't proud and wasn't walking around and saying stuff like, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that, I got this, I got that. No, he was still humble. He was still humble. Where the hell is your humility at? Okay? And as he lay and slept under the juniper tree, behold, an angel touched him and said unto him, arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baked on the coals, and a curse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink, and laid him down again. And the angel of the Lord, angel of Yahweh, came again the second time and touched him and said, arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee. And he arose and did eat and drank, and went in the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights unto Horeb, the mount of Yahweh. Okay? So Elijah at Horeb. And he came thither unto the cave and lodged there, and behold, the word of Yahweh came to him, and he said unto him, what doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous for Yahweh, Yahweh power of hosts, for the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thy altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword, and even I only am left, and they seek my life to take it away. Now, they didn't forsake any more than what the Most High directed that process to happen. Remember, again, got to pick up the clues and understanding on how to go through, around and through the tribulation that the Father lays out for us to pick up the next clue towards what salvation will bring for you in the mission you're on. You got to still remember, he's in control of absolutely everything. There's nothing that our Father's not in control of. Okay? All right. 11. And he said, go forth and stand upon the mount before Yahweh. And behold, Yahweh passed by, and a great and strong wind rent the mountains and break in pieces the rocks before Yahweh. But Yahweh was not in the wind, and after the wind an earthquake, but Yahweh was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake a fire, but Yahweh was not in the fire. And after the fire a still small voice. And it was so, when Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle and went out and stood in the entering of the cave, and behold, there came a voice unto him and said, what doest thou here, Elisha? In other words, get your ass out. I got things for you to do. And he said, I have been very jealous for Yahweh, power of hosts, because the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thy altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword, and I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away. And Yahweh said unto him, go return to thy way to the wilderness of Damascus, and when thou comest, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria. And Jehu, the son of Nimshi, shall thou anoint to be king over Israel. See, Ahab's going down. All right. And Elisha, the son of Shaphat, the Amalekah, shall thou anoint to be prophet in thy room. And it shall come to pass that him that escapeth the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay, and him that escapeth the sword of Jehu shall Elisha slay. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which hath not kissed him. So he departed thence and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him, and he with the 12th. And Elisha passed by him and cast his mantle upon him. See that? This was him being anointed. And he left the oxen and ran after Elisha and said, let me, I pray thee, kiss my father and my mother, and then I will follow thee. And he said unto him, go back again, for what have I done to thee? And he returned back from him and took a yoke of oxen and slew them, and boiled the flesh with the instrument of the oxen, and gave unto the people, and they did eat. Then he arose and went after Elisha and ministered unto him. Now we're going to go a little bit further into 20, and we're going to get close to finishing this part up, because we got to get some scriptures that I have on spiritual psychosis, right? And Shlaki. And Behanadad, the king of Syria, gathered all his hosts together, and there were 32 kings with him, and horses and chariots. And he went up and besieged Samaria and warned against it. And he sent a messenger to Ahab, king of Israel, into the city, and said unto him, thus saith Behanadad, thy silver and thy gold is mine, thy wives also, and thy children, even the goodliest are mine. And the king of Israel answered and said, O my lord, O king, according to thy saying, I am thine and all that I have. And the messengers came again and said, thus speaketh Behanadad, saying, although I have sent unto thee, saying, thou shalt deliver my silver and thy gold and thy wives and thy children, yes, yet will I send my servant also, Shalaki, my servant unto thee tomorrow about this time, and they shall search thine house and thy houses of thy servants, and it shall be that whatsoever is pleasant in thine eyes, they shall put it in their hand and take it away. And then the king of Israel called all the elders of the land and said, mark, I pray you, and see how this man seeketh mischief, for he sent unto me for my wives and my children, and for silver and my gold, and I denied him not. And all the elders and all the people said unto him, hearken not unto him, nor consent, which was, we got a mistake here. Wherefore he said unto the messengers of Behanadad, tell my lord the king, all thou didst send for thy servant at the first I will do, but this thing may I not do. And the messengers departed and brought him the word again. And Behanadad sent unto him and said, the gods do so unto me, and also if the dust of Samaria shall suffice for handfuls for all the people that follow me. And the king of Israel answered and said, tell him, let not him that girdeth on his harness boast himself, he that putteth it off. And it came to pass when Behanadad heard the message, he was drinking, and he and the kings of the pavilions, that he said unto his servant, set yourselves in array, that they set themselves in array against the city. So that's when, of course, Ahab's victorious fight against that particular time. We're not going to go deeper into that part, because we know that the psychosis of this king was latent. It was latent with what was going on, what the father was doing, as Elijah was preparing Elisha to be able to take over this process when Jezebel is going to be slain by Jehu, and how Elisha was also participating in this portion of the war and the fight. I'm not going to go too deep into that, because I got to get into my precepts in reference to what spiritual psychosis is being brought out in various precepts. So just wanted to bring that to you. So now we're going to go from here into Psalms. So the first place I'm going to start is in Psalms, and bring forth some precepts for you in that matter. Psalms 23, go with me, all right? And we're going to read 1 through 6. And it reads, a psalm of David. Yahawah is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Everyone should know this. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Yahawah forever. Now, we all have heard this, and many of us can recite this, just like they recite John 3:16. Some of us, not all of us, but many of us can. But we should be able to understand that this is a process where the Father is telling you he has complete control over everything that you're going to do, and all you have to do is show forth the resolve of praise, worship, and prayer. You need, wrapped in repentance, so you need those 4 keys in order for him to release the understanding, the unction that you get from his spirit and your spirit to bring you to the clues, so that you can move to the next clue and transcend through the process of tribulation, around and through it, with the directives that he gives you, as he's done with Noah, as he's done with Joseph, as he's doing with Elisha, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. You see, you're getting the information that's been predetermined and pre-programmed from predestination in you. You just have to hear that small voice, like Elisha heard in the cave. See, when he was in there doing what he thought was the work of the Lord, which it was, because it's all controlled by the Most High. Everything's controlled by him. He still had to wait and listen and understand for the small voice that said, what are you doing in there? Come out. I got things for you to do. Listen to Yahawah through Yahawashi. Not man telling you to do stuff that you can't validate in the word. Psalms 34, we're going there next. Okay? Psalms 34, and we're going to start at verse 17. The righteous cry, and Yahawah heareth, and delivereth him out of all their troubles. Right? The Lord Yahawah is near unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. If you don't have a broken heart and a contrite spirit, he ain't hearing you. Okay? It's real simple. 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahawah delivereth him out of them all. 20. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. And Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. 22. Yahweh redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. But he's controlling it all. This always has to be foundational in terms of the fact that he's controlling absolutely everything at all times. Stop saying stupid stuff like, well, Esau gonna come down on you and do this and do that, and boy, you better watch out because here he comes. No, the Father is puppetizing him and doing this with him. Why y'all have a hard time saying that? And why y'all complaining about what the Father's doing to his creation? Okay, we're going now to Psalms 56. So that's where we're going next. So go with me. I told you I had a couple of them in Psalms. We're going to Psalm 56. Go with me. And I got 11. And it reads, in Yahweh have I put my trust. I will not be afraid. What man can do unto me? Right? Just above that, it tells you, in Yahweh I will praise his word. In Yahweh I will praise his word. He keeps saying you need to praise him. Why is that so hard to do? You praise everything else and anybody else. Why can't you praise him? You give him 3 seconds. I've never seen nobody give the Most High any kind of real praise longer than a few seconds or a minute at that. Where's the real praise for him? Praise is praise. Don't try to make it something else you think you're doing. Praise is different. It's separate. It's not prayer. It's praise. And then there's worship too. "12. Thy vows are upon me, O power. I will render praise unto thee. 13. For thou hast delivered my soul from death. Wilt not thou deliver my feet from falling, that I may walk before Yahweh in the light of the living?" Okay. Now we're going to Isaiah. So go with me. We're going to start at Isaiah chapter 41. So go with me, and I'm going to pull 10. And it reads, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." You hear what the Most High is telling you? Right? All right, this one will give 11 too. "Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish." Okay? All right? We're going to Isaiah 43 is what I got next. Okay? So go to 43. And I've got, what I got? Start at 1. And it reads, "But now thus saith Yahweh that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers thou shalt not overflow thee." Right? "When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flames kindle upon thee. For I am the Lord Yahweh thy power, the Holy One of Israel thy Savior. I give Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Sheba for thee. 4. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east, and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far and my daughters from the ends of the earth. 7, even every one that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yea, I have made him. Right? Father, controlling everything. The Most High, Israel is his witness, right? Bring forth the blind people that have eyes and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled who are among them can declare this and show us former things. Let them bring forth their witnesses that they may be justified, or let them hear that say it is truth. See, the Father's telling you, man, I mean, why is this so complicated for people? Well, I'm only saying metaphorically. Okay, I'm saying it in a metaphorical way when I say, why is this so complicated for them to understand that he's controlling all things? I've said already that we know what he said, why he's doing this. Okay, he's doing this in a manner of his process that has to go forward for cleansing and purification in order for us to get to that infinitive state of continuous creation as we go to the ceiling of the level of our lot that we're created for. So we know that this is the process that we're going through. So I'm not saying it as though I don't understand why we're not going through this. He controls all things, and I know he's doing it in his way, and I don't have to understand all of why he's doing it. I just have to follow suit and pick up on the clues to go with his flow on what he is doing. I don't have to always understand everything he's doing. I just have to believe, have faith, agree, and continue to pick up clues as he gives my spirit in my mind the unction to be able to unravel the next clue in order to get closer to being delivered towards the end of everything that he's doing here. And that's the nature of what I need to understand. And I'm just imparting that to you as well. Okay. All right. So, okay, 10. Ye are my witnesses, saith Yahawah, and my servant who I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me and understand that I am he. See, he, before me there was no power formed, neither shall there be after me. So Father's telling you he's controlling everything. 11. Even I am Yahawah, and besides me there is no savior. Everything's anchored in the Most High. Okay? That's why it's capital letters Lord, Yahawah. Okay, let's not get it twisted. Yahawashi is put in the management role of fulfilling everything the Father has forth. Okay, I have declared and I have saved. I have shown when there was no strange God among you. Therefore, ye are my witnesses, saith Yahawah, that I am power. 13. Yea, before the day was, I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it? Okay? Babylon will be destroyed. And the Father's telling you right here. Thus saith Yahawah, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. For your sake I have sent to Babylon. I have brought down all their nobles and the Chaldeans whose cry is in the ships. See, he's going to do it again. It's like he did it then. He don't change. I am the Lord Yahawah, your Holy One, the Creator of Israel, your King. Thus saith Yahawah, which maketh a way in the sea and a path in the mighty waters, which bringeth forth the chariot and the horse and the army and the power. They shall lie down together. They shall not rise. They are extinct. They are quenched as tow. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing now. It shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? Question. I will even make a way in the wilderness and the rivers in the desert. 20. The beasts of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls, because I give waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert to give drink to my people, my chosen. This people have I formed for myself. They shall show forth my praise. Are you showing forth his praise that he formed for himself? Or are you showing forth praise for men like Big Pork Belly KD? What the hell are you doing? Shortcomings of Israel are disgusting because you're not picking up the clues that the Father gave you to follow through and do his will, not someone else's will. So you can go through this transition so when he drops the bottom out of everything, you won't be sitting like a sucker and don't know what the hell to do. Slocking. 22. But thou hast not called upon me, O Jacob, but thou hast been weary of me, O Israel. 23. Thou hast not brought me the small cattle of thy burnt offering, neither hast thou honored me with the sacrifices. I have not caused thee to serve with an offering, nor wearied thee with incense. He said, I have not caused thee. See? Thou hast brought me no sweet cane with money, neither hast thou filled me with the fat of thy sacrifices, but thou hast made me to serve with thy sins. Thou hast wearied me with thine iniquities. In other words, the Father's saying, you're not paying attention to how I'm leading you. I'm saying, praise and worship me. The Father's saying, Yahawah saying, praise and worship him. Praise and worship him. Wrap it in repentance. Yeah, pray. Praise, worship, and pray, and wrap it in repentance. Serve him that way he said serve him. Don't serve him the way some man told you. 25, I, even I, he that blotteth out thy transgressions for mine own sake, and I will not remember thy sins, if you follow his clues and pick up on them. But me in remembrance, let us plead together, declare thou that thou mayest be justified. Thy first father hath sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me. Therefore I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse, and Israel to reproaches. So, if he gave Israel 2 reproaches, he has to be the one to remove a reproach. So, if you claim and think you're going to have somebody, some woman, or someone that a reproach that can't be removed from, how are you going to get the reproach removed to have a whole bunch of those that the reproach can't be removed from? How are you going to do that? Can't remove the reproach from an Edomite woman. She ain't going to be around. She got to go with the rest of the Edomites. What about what about a Chaldean? What about a Canaanite? Can a Canaanite can a Canaanite man and woman make it into the kingdom and be part of the covenant? No. They're not going to be part of the new covenant. What about a Moabite or an Amorite? Can you have one of them? Can you have one of those women? No, because they can't be removed. Their reproach can't be removed. All you get is Israelite women. You don't want them? Too bad. That's what's coming when you get to the new covenant. Now, whether you get a lot of them or not, hey, did you have a lot in the beginning when everything was perfect? Think about it. Okay, next, we're coming out of Isaiah. We're going to Jeremiah. One of my favorite precepts. Jeremiah 29. And we're going to 11. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith Yahawah, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Right? And I'll give you 12. Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. And ye shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all your heart, meaning the highest level of praise, worship, and prayer. And that's when he'll turn your captivity around and get you out. because he said it in 14. And I will be found of you, saith Yahweh, and I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, saith Yahweh. And I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive, because ye have said, the Lord hath raised us up prophets in Babylon. Okay? Now, he's controlling it all. There's no one else controlling everything like the Most High Yahweh. Don't get it twisted. Okay, we're getting close to finishing up. We got a few more precepts to go. I mean, you know me. I'm going to bring it out. I'm going to take as long as the Most High is going to have me take. If you can hang, hang. If you can't hang, then you won't hang. I ain't worried about it. Okay? Stay if you stay, go if you go. If the Most High gets you out of here, then he got you out of here. Okay, now we're going to Matthew. Going to the New Testament. We're going to Matthew. And we're going to bring, these are all scriptures that are talking about how the spiritual psychosis that the Most High has put on everyone, that he has put it on. We don't know who got it, but it's easy to see whether they're in the truth or whether they just say they see the truth. And then you can tell who got the psychosis process on them. They're delusional and they don't face the real reality of the truth. That's real simple. Okay, Matthew chapter 4 is where we're going to start. And I'm going to get 24. That's my precept there. And it reads, and his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all sick people that were taken with diverse diseases and torments, and those which were possessed with devils, and those which were lunatic, and those that had the palsy, and he healed them. See, that was all that psychosis that was going on, and Yahawashi, through the power of Yahweh, healed them. Okay, you've seen that. Okay, now we're going to go to Matthew 17, and we're going to go to Matthew chapter 17, and I'm going to start at 14, and it reads, and when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed, for oftentimes he falleth into the fire and often unto the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Shalaki. They could not, I'm not laughing at Most High's work. I'm saying this is so powerful. This is fire. I love it. And he said, they could not cure him. And Yahawashi answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? In other words, how long will you halt between two opinions? Like we talked about in 1 Kings with Elijah. Okay? All right, how long will I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. And Yahawashi rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Yahawashi apart and said, why could not we cast him out? Well, if you still got a little spiritual psychosis on you, you can't cast him out because you don't believe. And then what did he say? And Yahawashi said unto them, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. And while they abode in Galilee, Yahawashi said unto them, the Son of Man shall be betrayed unto the hands of men, and they shall kill him, and the third day he'll raise again. And they were exceedingly sorry. Which why? Because again, they got a tint of psychosis on them. They don't believe. The reality of the truth is not hitting them. Father don't have them there at this particular time. Okay, now we're going to go to Luke from here. All right, go to Luke, and I'm going to Luke 1, and I'm going to 37, and it reads, "For with Yahawah nothing shall be impossible." I just needed to tell you that because he controls absolutely everything, and you know that this is true. Okay, from here we're going to John. We're going to John chapter 16, and I'm going to 33, and it reads, "These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer, I have overcome the world." See, the Most High showing you he overcome the world with Yahawashi. You got to follow this. Acts 20, and we got 35. Okay, we're getting through these pretty quick. And it reads, "I have shown you all things, how that so laboring ye ought to support the weak, and to remember the words of the Lord Yahawashi, how he said, it is more blessed to give than to receive." So this is why we try to give you the understanding, and so it gets you through the tribulation process, get you around and through it. But you have to give up the praise, worship, and prayer to be in that position in order for that to be accomplished. Okay, now we're going to Romans. Romans chapter 8, one of my favorite, of course, always, right? Romans chapter 8, and I'm going to 28. All right, Romans chapter 8, 28. And it reads, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahawah," love the Most High, "to them who are called according to his purpose." Right? This is true because if you call for his purpose, you will know his sacred name, and you will be able to participate in bringing forth the understanding, so the clues can be revealed, so that you can continue to move towards your cleansing and your purification, which is going to end all be all and get you into the kingdom, so that you can be in the presence of Yahawah and Yahawashi. Okay, Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. Romans 12:2. "And be not conformed to the world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind," right? "That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahawah." So that's the good and acceptable, perfect will of who? Yahawah. Not someone else or some organization, but of Yahawah. Okay? All right, and we're going to go down to 12 on the same chapter. You go down to 12, and it says, "Rejoicing in hope, patience in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer." Okay? And then get 16. "Be of the same mind one towards another, mind not high things, but consented to men of low estate, be not wise in your own conceits." So the Father's saying, we're not trying to say that you got to be so deep that people can understand. That's why this lesson is very simplistic. The Most High controls everything. So stop saying and complaining about what he controls. And stop saying that he just put it out there and it's just doing whatever it want to do. No, he's controlling it all, every inkling of it. Okay? All right. We got through Romans. We almost done. 1 Corinthians is next. We got to go there. 1 Corinthians 10 is where I'm at, and 13, and it reads, "There hath no temptation taken you, there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But Yahawah is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it." So every bit of tribulation that we got coming, he's showing you clearly that he's giving you a way to go through it, right? To get around it and go through it. But if you're not picking up the clues, you're going to sit around with a dunce hat on and talking about, well, I'm just waiting on Yahweh or Yahawashi. No, get your ass up and do something like Noah did, and Joseph, and the rest of them. Don't just sit there like a dunce. All right, 2 Corinthians, and we're going to go at 5 first, chapter 5. 13 is we're starting, and it reads, For whether we be beside ourselves, it is to Yahawah, or whether we be sober, it is for your cause. For the love of Hamashiach constraineth us, because we thus judge that if one died for all, then we're all dead. Okay, you hear that? 15. And that he died for all, only all of Israel, of course. Let me make it clear so anybody listening won't be thinking it's universal. And that he died for all, that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves, but unto him which died for them and rose again. Wherefore henceforth know we no man after the flesh. Again, from 16. Wherefore henceforth know we no man after the flesh, yea, though we have known Hamashiach after the flesh, yet now henceforth know we him no more. 17. Therefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. All things are passed away. Behold, all things become new, which very simply means you're supposed to mirror and follow Hamashiach, not someone else trying to tell you how to do it. Go to him. Look in the mirror and do what the Most High said do. Don't be trying to do what someone else tell you to do, because they don't have no power to save you, right? Therefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. All things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. 18, and all things are of Yahweh, who have, go back, what? And all things are of Yahweh. And all things are of Yahweh, who have reconciled us to himself by Yahawashi Hamashiach, and hath given to us the ministry of reconciliation. Do you recognize reconciliation? To wit that Yahweh was, to wit that Yahweh was in Hamashiach reconciling the world unto himself, not imputing their trespass unto them, and hath committed unto us the word of reconciliation. See, all thing anchors right back to Yahweh. Total control. Now then, we are ambassadors of Hamashiach, as though Yahweh did beseech you by us. We pray you in Hamashiach's stead, be ye reconciled to Yahweh, for he hath made him to be sin for us, who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of Yahweh in him. Did you hear that? Did you get it? Okay. Now we're going to same chapter. Chapter verse 12 of chapter 12, not 5, 12:9, 2 Corinthians 12:9, and it reads, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. See, most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. I need to read that again, because I think that there might be some slow people that might not get this. So let me give it to you again. Yahweh, most power, says, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities. Stop bitching about what the Most High is doing with his creation. It's his plan that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. You got it? 10. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distress, for Hamashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Now we're going to Philippians after this. Philippians chapter 4. I've got 6 and 7. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, prayer and praise, right? With thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto Yahweh, and peace of Yahweh, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Hamashiach Yahawashi, right? Now I'm gonna give you 8:2. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, and whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, and whatsoever things are good, of a good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. You hear that? So get ready to wrap it up. We're going to 2 Timothy here, chapter 1, and I'm reading 7, and it reads, For Yahweh hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 8, be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor or me his prisoner, Shalaki, but be thou partakers of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of Yahweh. Right? Going to, from here, got 2 more, First Peter, and then we're going to wrap it up. All right, First Peter chapter 5, First Peter chapter 5, and we got 7 and 8. Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Okay? And he's seeking who he may devour because the Most High set him forth to do the seeking and set him forth to do the devouring for Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi. All right? And then, of course, my last precept is in John, Shalaki, 1 John, Shalaki, 1 John, all right? Yeah, I think y'all all know where I'm going, chapter 4, and it's at the top, and it says, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of Yahweh, because many false prophets are going out into the world. Hereby know ye the spirit of Yahweh. Every spirit that confesseth that Hamashiach Yahawashi is come in the flesh is of Yahweh. And every spirit that confesseth that Yahawashi Hamashiach is come in the flesh is not of Yahweh. And this is that spirit of anti-Hamashiach. Wherefore ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is in the world. Ye are of Yahweh, little children, Israel, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. We are of Yahweh. We that knoweth Yahweh heareth us. He that is not of Yahweh heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Koholo Yahweh, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Rukakadash, Thwada Yahweh, Thwada Yahweh, Bahasham Yahawashi, Shalaki Yahweh, for my sins as I cry, Babakasha Yahweh, for a power every time, Babakasha Yahweh, for your mercy all the time, Barakatha Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Kolo, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Shalaki, Yahawah, for your mercy all the time. Kolo, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Kolo, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi.